All right, now I'd like to introduce Dr. Alieta Eck, who is a physician in private practice in internal medicine. Both she and her husband, John, also a physician, founded the Zeropath Health Center, a free clinic for the poor and uninsured. She's running for U.S. Congress in New Jersey Council District 12. She desires to bring her experiences and ideas to Washington, D.C.
You will really love me. I'm going to keep this short. My topic was going to be the 3 steps to fix healthcare. And when you think about it, the way to keep down administrative costs is to eliminate the administrator. Merrill Matthews taught me that 15 years ago. And so the patients paying directly is the least expensive way for primary care. And actually, proper insurance, or most people don't spend more than $5,000 a year on health care. So if insurance kicked in at $5,000, that means that 92% of people would never need to access their insurance company in a given year. That's proper insurance. What we now have is prepaid health care, and the government wants you to pay for, wants insurance to pay for things that everybody's going to need, which makes it more expensive. Therefore, that is why healthcare has gotten so expensive. The one slide that Dr. Wax had that showed the doctors going up to 200% since 1970 had those people, the administrators and the paper pushers and all these people that are coders and all those other entities that are involved in healthcare went up 3,000%. That's where a healthcare dollar is going, and that is a total waste. Some of you know that so the best thing to do, you have direct pay, you have real insurance, which should be less expensive, and then real charity instead of government charity, which is 10 times more expensive than real charity. That was what I have learned. My husband and I started a practice about 20 years ago in one town, and then 10 years later, we started a charity clinic 10 miles away. And we found out that when everybody volunteers, it's extraordinarily inexpensive to care for people. And you get the community involved, everybody's helping, and everybody comes with a story, the people that come to our free clinic. And we can help them at $13 per patient visit. Nothing from the taxpayers. When the government does it, they set up these federally qualified health centers, and if you look at their Form 99 in guidestar.org, you'll see that they spend a fortune on things like recruitment, $330,000, or, I mean, things that really don't seem to be involved in charity care, yet they'll say it costs them $160 per patient visit. They get that all from the taxpayers. Total waste. Well, back in June, when our senator died, Senator Frank Lautenberg died, I was working in our clinic, and somebody was going from 37 to 29 and a half hours because of Obamacare. And it just hit me. This law is really hurting people. Why did they write this law? How could we stop it? Somebody called me from the AAPS. I was the president in 2012. Why don't you run for Senate? So I said, well, all right, I'll do it. And I just jumped in. And I had 2 months of a primary, which I didn't win, but I got name recognition. Well, now I'm running for Congress. I got in December. I got a team together, and we started to work on seeing what you had to do. Now it was going to be a real campaign. It wasn't going to be this 2-month thing. So I jumped in, and the reason why I wanted to do it was to get down there into Washington, D.C., and to make a difference. They needed doctors down there. There's only 17 doctors in the Congress right now. It's going to go down to 15, and that's not enough. These are lawyers that are writing these laws that make no sense. They need doctors. And believe me, if I were down there, I wouldn't be a quiet little doctor just dealing with other issues. No, I would deal with healthcare, and I would talk with the doctors, and I would champion the doctors. You doctors are heroes for dealing with such hostile conditions and still taking care of patients. When I heard that an orthopedic surgeon gets $1,200 for a 4-hour operation of replacing a hip under Medicare, I thought, that is amazing. You guys are heroes for doing that, because of all the liability that you incur. And that goes with everything, with all that we have done when the government has gotten involved in healthcare. So I would like to go and get down there, work on getting the government out of all this healthcare. Well, I jumped into the race again, I went into the race for Congress. I went after one of the other, he was actually a congressman who was running for the Senate when he was on the Democratic side. He is Rush Holt in the 12th District, it's where I live. I said, I would like to go after him. I'd love to debate him on health care. He thinks that Obamacare didn't go far enough. We should have single payer. So I said, wow, that'd be a great debate. And turns out in the mid-February, he dropped out. He's not running again. So 14 years of being a congressman was enough. And I think Obamacare is the indefensible thing that he'd have to explain why it was good. So now it's we call it it's a race where there's, neither side is an incumbent, and therefore I have a much better chance of winning. The Democrats are fighting each other as to who's going to get the nomination, and now I am the only Republican nominee, and I'm uncontested for the June 3rd primary. I have a great chance of winning this race, even though it's a Democratic district. Anyway, thank you very much. And if I don't know, my talk was going to be about the 3 steps to fix healthcare. It's essentially the Republican idea, the direct pay, the high deductible insurance, and then real non-government charity. 1, 2, 3. We can do it, and Obamacare can just melt away. Thank you.